welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. Please like and subscribe to this video and be sure to hit that notification bell to not miss any of my future videos. And let's see if this video can get 15 likes.
Hi there, my name is Zach.
Hello Zach. Hello Zach.
Hello Zecca. Hello Zeki.
Oh my goodness, look at my Bitcoin chart. Not to mention the ZCash chart. It's time to get into this video.
The channel, my name's Zek. So we've had a fairly eventful last few days. We're going to start off looking at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I've been talking for quite some time now, really almost 2 months, about this wipe-off accumulation that we are in the process of going through, and we can clearly see on this daily chart that we have recently, as predicted, we had the spring. That was on the 22nd of June. We had this. Everybody was panicking. Everybody was during the weekend. Everybody was worrying about the idea that the possibility of moving down to 20,000, perhaps. It looked like a bit of a head and shoulders in the charts, and there was some FUD. There was FUD about. Well, recently there's been the UK banning Binance markets, or there's some confusion about whether Binance itself has actually been banned. I'm not sure it has. But anyhow, often you will see something negative certainly in the mainstream news at the time where, in fact, where you're really seeing a test or the spring in an accumulation and a wipe-off accumulation, and indeed we did. And I also was worried, but I was trying to keep my fear in check, my fear of marauding in, and my fear of missing out in check. And this was a good moment to accumulate some Bitcoin or some Zcash. We can see the same on the Zcash chart on the daily. I've not drawn in the accumulation schematic on here, but we had here a trip down to sort of $86, $87, and I think I got in at $8.92. I was a bit annoyed because I did tell a few other people to. I think I made a video suggesting 87 was the target, but I FOMO'd in at 92 and then watched it go lower. Anyhow, that was a nice point to pick up some Zcash, and then we can see better on the Bitcoin chart. We have subsequently rallied, had the test, and we're now in another rally. Now I know a lot of people are probably wondering what next, and I will tell you that I believe that this little rally is also due to give back some of its gains, because I think we will have a further test of the upper of the two lower support lines of support in our accumulation trading range. So the range is, as has been for some time, between 30 and 40,000, and we've tested the lower end. We've tested 30,000 within the last couple of days. It was the 26th, was it? That we came back for the test of about 30,000, and we did indeed. And Zcash respectively at that time tested its lower boundary, and I think it tested around 96. Yeah, there we have it. So we are now pushing higher. We're almost to the point where we will explore the higher end of this trading range, and which, of course, we will not be heading straight to the moon. We will be testing the upper supports first, and with retracements. But I think before any of this happens, we're going to retest on Bitcoin at 32,000 levels, and on Zcash it may or may not. The price may not retest 100 again, but there are some technical reasons that in the charts that make me think it might. There is the chance that Zcash might just pump on the anticipation of Bitcoin going sideways. But let's have a look at Bitcoin first. So the first thing I would say is that we can see that Bitcoin is now about to run into, well, it's running into, on the daily, it's running into the EMA ribbon. Now that is going to provide some significant some headwinds for the, just this will provide some form of headwind to any more extreme upward upswing in the near term. And I think that's only the first thing. The second thing is we're also, let's get rid of the EMA ribbon. The second thing is we have also just ticked into the moving average, the 20 moving average of the Bollinger Bands, and that also is going to give us the potential for traders to be trading to the downside. And if we tie this in with the other, on the 1 hour, if we go onto the 1 hour, we can see that the 1 hour has been making has made another higher high up to 36,500 approximately. But on the RSI, we are making a lower high. So we're getting some divergence in the RSI and the Bitcoin price action itself. Now this is only in the 1 hour, but I am getting more confident that this might follow through into the 4 hour, let's say, and then and in any case, I have a feeling that and this would all tie in quite nicely with the Wyckoff accumulation narrative, which would imply itself a retracement towards 32,000. So at this point, and if we go back and have a look at let's look at the daily one more time. Now we can see on the daily that we have, not that one. Here we have now this retracement from this move down, this big move down to the spring, has now produced. We have now produced. Oh, let's put it there. Perfect. If you can see that we are currently on the Bitcoin 1 day chart. We are now currently at our current price level. We are banging right up against the 0.618 fib. Now that would be a very, very nice time for us to retrace towards 32,000, as I suggested. There are so many points of confidence. I am feeling quite confident that this will happen, even though I am desperate to FOMO in. I did sell my Bitcoin position at just under 34,921. 34,921 I sold, and I obviously have been fighting the FOMO ever since I've seen it now pushed to 36 and a half almost. But I do believe that the fizz will come out of this rally here, because also we have this long-term support turned resistance, which has rejected Bitcoin price steadily throughout. We did break through it at this point, but at that point the price was rejected by this other line of resistance, which had originally tipped us over the edge on the 19th of May, and we're at a point where we're actually kind of these two points of resistance meet. Now I think that will ultimately prove to be the turning point that will send us to higher and ultimately a new all-time high, to higher prices, and certainly towards the higher end of this trading range, this accumulation trading range. But for the moment, I think we're going to get an initial rejection, because we are at the 0.618 fib of retracement of our recent big downturn. We are, as I say, also at the 20 moving average of the. Oh, what have I just deleted? We're also at the 20 moving average of the of the Bollinger Bands. We've got the the 1 hour divergence on the RSI, and furthermore, and for the target, I think because of the Wyckoff the Wyckoff accumulation that I believe we're in, this is the target, 32,000 ish. And if we look at the 4 hour chart, then we can see that if we were to retrace from our recent rally, which is at the 0.618 fib of the recent big downturn, if we were to retrace on this rally from this point to 32,000, that would tie in nicely with 31,852 is the 0.618 fib retracement of this rally itself. So I think that again, and that will actually also, by that point on the 4 hour, this will take us to the lower end of the Bollinger Bands. I don't know if you can see that. Let's quickly. So that will also take us down to here. This is the fib retracement, so you can see that it's going to also coincide nicely with the lower end of the Bollinger Bands. I just think, on balance, there is a lot in this chart which looks technically like we need to retrace to 32,000. On ZCash, I think again we can see on the daily, we can see we're running into the headwinds of the EMA ribbon, which will provide some pressure downward. We also, saying that I'm watching the price tick up, but then we also can look at our potential retrace. Again, we are on. Well, maybe look on the 4 hour. You can see it better. Looking at the retracement from this, if we look at this downtrend and take our retracement tool to see where we're at in terms of our recent downtrend, down move, we are almost at the 0.78 fib, and that would be our target, really. I think $132 maybe, but it's a bit unclear. We could possibly take our retracement from this one here, because we did actually rally after the initial dump down to the downside there, in which case we've actually gone past the 0.78 fib retracement level already. So I'm tempted to again think the fizz is going to be coming out of this ZCash rally to some extent, and I think then if we look at let's take this off. Then if we look at where we might retrace to, well, the 0.78 fib retracement on the 4 hour will take us to $95, $96. We could put a line on that, and that would also take us nicely down towards the lower end of the 4 hour Bollinger Bands. I'm less confident that ZCash will. In my mind, I think if ZCash comes down this low, it's almost just as likely to do a full retracement to $86 or $87. But I think there is also quite. I wouldn't be surprised if ZCash holds up better against Bitcoin on the anticipation of bounce at 32, because I think that the ZCash market is going to be comprised of maybe more astute traders. There won't be so much of a large retail element, I don't think. Well, retail, yes, but not. But perhaps more experienced, seasoned crypto traders who are participating there. So there's a chance that ZCash perhaps holds up better. Maybe we could look at. It may also retrace from, because the price did sort of stagnate around 100 for a while, ZCash of late, and so during the last few days. So perhaps we could take our retracement from here, which would imply a retracement to even at the 0.78 fib to 100, 103, or maybe to 108. $109. So I mean, there are some targets. It's tough with Zcash because it could also give back all of its gains, and then again, even from this retracement, we're looking at $96-97 as a target. But I think the key thing is to look at Bitcoin and to see what happens there. The other reason I think we're due for Bitcoin to some of the fizz to come out of this rally is that the dollar index is ticking higher at the moment, and so I could imagine, and it looks like it's well, on the weekly, it looks like it's going to yeah, it does look like it might go a little higher on the weekly. What about on the daily? Here we have, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not bullish long term about this by any means, but I do think that the price action is enough at the moment to having seen this rally, this Bitcoin rally. I think that we could see the dollar index push higher, and that might be also another reason to take some profit here in your Bitcoin or Zcash positions. But I think that's the point of this at this juncture, is take profit on the anticipation of the whole thing going higher, because this let's look on the daily. This was, in my view, this was our accumulation spring. This is our test we've had, and I think the next test will be to 32,000 if that comes. And I think it will on the daily chart. We've kind of had it. It seems like we already had a test of 32,000 on the if you look at this on the 4-hour chart. But I think that we need to look at it over the daily to really understand what's happening. And I think after we test 32,000 again, I think we will be pushing at that point towards a test of the lower boundary of the upper end of the trading range, which is around 39,000. I have a feeling we'll have a little rejection initially before pushing higher to the top end of the trading range. I don't think Bitcoin's out of the woods at all at that point. In terms of will that then imply a move towards an all-time high immediately? I think possibly not, because I would also not be surprised to see this entire process now subsequently play out on a larger time frame, and the next time frame up we would have to say either the 2 daily or probably even the weekly, and so we will see. But there is, in my mind, the possibility that we could even see the accumulation the accumulation continue to develop over a longer time frame, and I will talk more about how that might happen at a later date. But certainly, I think that we will in the coming weeks, we will see Bitcoin move to test the top end of this trading range. Where it goes from there, because there are some headwinds on the bigger time frames that would suggest that sort of 49,000 could be a point of weakness, or a point where Bitcoin will be rejected. At which point we could see it come down for further accumulation, but we must wait and see. So the first thing is perhaps take some profit today, and look for re-entry at 32,000 ish with Bitcoin, and with Zcash perhaps take some profit and look for a retracement in kind there, and maybe 100, maybe 110. If you're very lucky, you might get lower prices than that. But I do think, on balance, both Bitcoin and Zcash are looking like they've rallied well, and it would be nice to see them retrace at this point, and I don't think, crystallize some profits, because that's important. You can't just be holding these holding these positions, holding the tokens forever and ever and not take any profit because it's silly. The volatility is your friend if you take some profit, and if you look for a nice retracement to re-enter the market at. So happy hunting. Please like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications bell, and you will keep getting this content. I hope it helps you. It helps me just to order my thoughts by making these videos, and so yeah. Please. Also, I've been trying to set up my studio, because at the moment I'm just recording this through my Mac. Through the Mac microphone, which is probably pretty terrible, and I apologise for the sound. If anyone knows, if anyone has drivers for an M Audio Fast Track Pro that would work with Catalina operating system for the Mac, then please could they send me a link? That would be great, because I have an M Audio Fast Track which won't work properly, apparently, because I don't have the right drivers, and I can't, apparently the only drivers I can find predate Catalina and are not compatible with Catalina, and I can't get rid of Catalina as the operating system, because then loads of other stuff won't work on the Mac. So anyhow, software issues, I'd be very grateful for any assistance that anyone might be able to give or point me in the right direction there. Many thanks, happy hunting. Ciao ciao, and see you guys tomorrow.